Hi, I'm Dr. Don Miller. I'm a clinical psychologist. And today I'm going to share with you a procrastination video. Kind of how to beat procrastination. So, what we're going to work on to see if we are able to find a spot where you will wind up more comfortable and more relaxed than you might expect. The best way to really feel more comfortable is to begin just by sitting as comfortably as you can, as you are sitting right now. So if you like, you can adjust yourself to the most comfortable position you can find. Now I would like you to notice how much more comfortable you will feel by just taking one very deep, satisfying breath. Go ahead, big breath. Satisfying breath. That's fine. You may already notice how good that feels. How warm your neck and shoulders can feel. Now I would like you to take two more very deep, very comfortable breaths. And as you exhale, just notice how comfortable your shoulders can become. And notice how comfortable your eyes can feel when they close. When they close, just let them stay closed. And notice how you can exhale. You can just feel that relaxation beginning to sink in. Good. That's fine. Now let's go a little deeper into the relaxed state. A lot of times we can do that by just paying attention to our own breathing. It seems like it is just a simple thing, listening to or paying attention to the breath as it is going in and out. The breath and how we breathe helps us connect to our body, connecting to parts of the mind, connecting to ourselves and our being, and as a way of controlling the mind as to how fast or slow we want it to go. A way of letting go so as you focus on your breathing. Think about your breathing, becoming aware. The breath goes in, the breath goes out. You may find your breathing slowing a little bit. You may begin to recognize that it feels good to take slow and deep breaths. As you do that, you will feel yourself going down, deeper into a more relaxed state. Now, I want you to remember a time when you were on an escalator, maybe one of those very long escalators that you find in an airport that goes down 3 or 4 flights of stairs. I want you to imagine that you are just stepping onto one of those escalators and it's going down. You are wearing a little backpack as the escalator goes down. It seems that it's a long way down to the bottom, but the escalator, as you're riding it down, is taking you down a little deeper and deeper into a more relaxed state. Down deeper and more relaxed. Now, if you have chosen an airport escalator as you go down, there may be advertisements on the wall or even posters of a new movie. You may find the people coming up on the up escalator and the posters interesting as you go down. But the most important thing is each few more feet that you are going down, you find your body relaxing more and more, deeper and deeper, down even deeper, more and more relaxing. About 3/4 of the way down, and sure enough, you are feeling more relaxed. This may be a little different sensation or feeling for you to let go so much. It may be an experience that if this hasn't happened a lot, you may find yourself enjoying being this relaxed. When we relax, our minds seem to work better. Ideas don't push in and out so fast from one to the next. When we're slowed down a little, we seem to be able to enjoy life a little more, experience things a little deeper. But these are things you've probably heard about before. The benefits of relaxation and meditation. So you're getting closer and closer to the bottom, going down even deeper. And at the bottom of the escalator, there's a wall. And it might look like the escalator is going to take you right into the wall, but the escalator passes through an opening. It's kind of curious because you don't know if you've ever seen an escalator that starts out inside somewhere and then ends up outside. Because now you are just stepping off the escalator, and where you are stepping off, there's an outdoor scene. In fact, it looks right in front of you. It looks like right in front of you there is a lake. It's very pretty, and there may be ducks on the lake. There's a tree right on the edge of the lake. It is so inviting that you go over, looking out over the lake, leaning back against the tree, providing a perfect place to let yourself go even deeper, even more relaxed as you are looking at this calm, pleasant surroundings. As you hear the calming sounds of birds, the gentle lapping of the water in the lake on the shore, you slide down to sit leaning against the tree. You start to realize that this could be a good place to do a little bit of thinking or contemplating on some of the things you have as goals. One of these goals might have been to find a way to get started on projects. How many times have you said, I'm going to do this or that, but you found yourself finding other things to do that seem so important right now? So maybe you've been wanting to stop your habit of avoiding putting things off and procrastinating. Maybe you want to be able to get down to things, get started on things. And maybe you wanted to not just start on a project, but finish it. We can procrastinate in different areas. Studying is one of them. Or it may be that you have put off getting started on that kitchen cabinet or cleaning the garage. It might be easy to say to yourself, I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm going to sit down, do my homework, start on my project, clean the garage, write a paper if that is the assignment, read the books and take notes. And though what we're talking about here can apply to all kinds of projects, the focus is homework and studying. But though you probably made that promise to yourself maybe many times that you're going to get started on these projects or the homework or that paper, term paper, maybe the results of your promise to yourself was not quite what you desired. Maybe you still found yourself realizing that there may be clothes to wash first. Or maybe you suddenly realized you had to clean your room or watch that episode of your favorite TV show or text all your friends. A lot of things could have stopped you. You have wanted to move ahead on your studying, and yet something kept you from doing it. Then you felt bad afterwards. You may have started to feel like a failure. So let's have you imagine now that you are still sitting by the lake in this placid, very calm, very satisfying spot. Let's have you imagine that you are sitting there with something you have been putting off. Maybe some assignment. You open your backpack and take out a small portable table and sit it on your lap. You place your next homework assignment on the table. Or if studying isn't your project, substitute what your project is So now here's the thing you have been wanting to do, but you've been holding off from doing it. Why you have procrastinated is a puzzle to be solved. Just like if we are on a road, we find something in the middle of the road. Sometimes we can go over it, or around it, or under it, or sometimes we can move whatever it is out of the way. So now you want to do this homework or project or essay, yet something is in the way. This something might not have been something you have been aware of. But let's see if we can dig into that and see what it might be. So let's say you look down at the study or homework you want to do, and there it is. You have been putting it off. But now you're going to stop trying to do the studying on your project right now. Yes, for you, for now, you are giving up on even doing your project, whether it be studying or something else. You are going to try instead to find out what is getting in the way. What is it that is stopping you? There may be a feeling attached to that procrastination. Let's use our memory and our imagination. Let's use your memory and your imagination. There may be some memories tied up with this homework and studying. While you're checking your internal tension system, your thoughts, feelings, and asking yourself, what am I feeling that gets in the way? Let me talk about some of the things that can get in the way. Here's an example. Let's say some child is just starting some math or pre-math work, and it's been asked by their parents, how much is 2 plus 2? And the child says, 5. But then, let's say the parent angrily says, 2 and 2 is 5? That is really stupid. How many times do I have to tell you the answer? Are you ever going to learn? Or are you going to be a dummy your whole life? Now, it may be hard to believe that some parents would actually say that, but unfortunately, it's true. A lot of times the parents have had a horrible childhood of criticism, and they just start with their own children where their own parents left off. But let's say parent B says to the child that gave the same answer, 2 and 2 is 5. That parent says, you don't know how close you are. Let's take another look at that. In other words, if you say 5, you are not stupid. You are just really close to the right answer. The child of parent A have now been doomed to being a dummy their whole life, and will definitely not be going to feel good when they look at a math book later. They will do everything they can to avoid and procrastinate. They will be feeling fear, anger, tension. They will wonder if they can ever get it right. When they attempt a problem, they will be so afraid of failure that their mind won't work right, and they will make many mistakes. Then they finally will probably stop trying. Negative experience and criticism will influence how willing someone is to work and try later in life. Now let's get back to you looking down at your homework or your project in your lab. You are asking yourself, what am I feeling? Often when we ask ourselves that question, what am I feeling? We don't get the right answer. We may not get any answer. We may get no answer at all. So instead of saying, what am I feeling? We start a sentence and say, am I feeling? Then we finish the sentence with a guess as to what we might be feeling. Let's start with you asking yourself, am I feeling angry? Go ahead. Ask yourself the question, am I feeling angry? You won't get an answer to that question, but just wait. It might take a few seconds. See how your body reacts. if you get a little surge of feelings, a sort of recognition, then there is some anger. We don't try to find the answer, we try to ask the right question. And our feelings will tell us if that is the right question. Next, ask yourself the question, am I feeling afraid? Wait for a feeling that will tell you if you ask the right question. Next question, am I worried that I may fail at this? Wait for the feeling that comes after you ask the question. Another question to ask yourself, am I worried that somebody is going to get angry at me? Ask yourself those questions, then you wait a minute for the answer to see if you asked the right question. A lot of times we can get the answer, which is the right question, by the way our body reacts. Am I feeling angry? I'm looking at this. I'm processing my feeling. I'm sitting and I'm having a hard time getting started. Why would anger be one of the possible feelings that stop me? Anger could be one of the possibilities if you were the child of angry parent A, where somebody called you names or said you were just stupid or just got angry when you were trying to do a task or learn math and it wasn't good enough or it wasn't up to their satisfaction. So now this thing on your lap, this homework or essay that you're trying to work, that you're looking at, this thing that you are doing, it's almost like it may be connected somehow to that voice of that critical parent, that feeling of anger. What is procrastination? It is avoidance. We are avoiding something. Why? There's probably something painful. So maybe by now, because you have been calm and relaxed and have not a care at this world at the moment, maybe by now you may discover there is something behind your procrastination. It isn't just, oh, why do I procrastinate? There's a feeling of, or possibly multiple feelings. And maybe by now you may be able to start zooming in on what some of these feelings are. Now, let us assume that you were actually able to find the feeling, whether it was anger, whether it was fear, whether it was resentment, whether it was a don't push me around feeling, a feeling people are too demanding. Someone is too demanding. Maybe it is your own conscience saying you should do this work. You better do this work. Your feeling in reaction to that might be don't push me around. Sometimes people have resentment about this feeling of being controlled and pushed around, even if they are the one pushing themselves. So listen to your feelings. Listen to what feeling it was that is getting in your way. Take some time. Try to track the feelings. Have you found where the feelings that block your actions came from? Or any of the feelings that blocked your actions, that froze you, that stopped you? Can you remember what other times those feelings came to you and froze you? Over time, with practice and repeat listening to this lesson on procrastination, you will find yourself being able to better identify the feeling or feelings that were stopping you, stopping your work at that moment. So once you identify the feeling, how do I get out of that? How do I get that feeling out of the way? How will you remove or negate that feeling that might be the block on the road? This is where you build a new scenario. Let's go back to the project, whether it's your homework or something else. Now, let's say you are looking at that, and you will have to create your own scenario. Let's say if the scenario had something to do with you remembering the times that you thought, I remember when I tried something and I didn't do very good, and somebody got really mad at me. Lots of other things. So, yes, lots of other things I've done good, but somehow when I look at some particular area, some particular memory of the past, then I dig into the feeling. And what do I do? Somebody gets really mad at me. If I try and fail, that might be painful. You might remember that, wow, if I don't do it or I don't try anything at all, if I avoid doing anything, if I procrastinate, then there's less pain. I might not get anything done, but sometimes there's less pain than if I tried and failed. So let's say you identify that little tension, maybe anxiety, maybe some anger thrown in there because of the way you were treated, maybe this feeling or that feeling that would block us when we try to do something. How do we move that feeling out of the way? Or not exactly necessarily out of the way. How do we get it so that that feeling or feelings don't stop us from doing our project? So the dialogue with yourself might go something like this. That was then, this is now. Talking about the past and present. So you're in the here and now. So that was the past. So now, while you relax, you find that this whole examination is very interesting to kind of dig into the past. And you find out this is where feelings are coming from a lot of times in the past. You feel kind of enlightened. You feel an understanding how stuff that maybe we had forgotten or buried, maybe something that happened years ago can still be there, still blocking. Someone could have been by a dog, and maybe 15, 20, or 30 years later they see a dog and suddenly become frightened. They don't even remember the bite. So when you are procrastinating, what was the bite? What was the thing that made it so that you started avoiding projects? Let's say somebody yelled at you, got you angry. Somebody pushed you around. Somebody said, get better grades, until finally you wanted to say, just leave me alone, just leave me alone. And that resulted in, I'll get to it when I feel like it, which was maybe never. And then the procrastination would set in. Even if they are not there pushing you around, maybe the feeling you had while looking at the work triggered a feeling. How can we get rid of that feeling? How can we move those feelings out of the way so that we can get to the things that we now want to do? We really want to do this thing. Okay, let's say you recognize the feeling and found out what the feeling was. You find it very interesting that it is still lingering. So you talk to yourself. Now you already know about taking deep breaths and relaxing. So you will find that just by doing the same thing as you are sitting there trying to figure out what is in the way, and you're doing the deep breathing, and you do find out what is in the way, what the emotion or emotions are of the feeling or feelings that are getting in the way. And you do that by taking the deep breaths as you are thinking and recognizing, oh yeah, there's that feeling. Or there's that feeling. Oh yeah, there's anger, there's fear, you will feel that feeling of being stalled, being frozen, slipping away, because as we relax, though feelings might not go away entirely, they lessen, they have less control over us. So we identify the feelings and we relax at the same time. Then we become aware of those feelings. And once we've done that, those feelings don't have the power that they did before. They don't have the power that those feelings did when they were hidden. Now we brought them out in the open. And so, in that relaxed state, feelings just don't have the power to stop us or create negative feeling in us. The feelings that are keeping you from doing things you want to do, they're slipping away. You might realize you can see that maybe you were angry at one point. You might be able to see where the anger came from. It might be a little memory flash. Or you might be able to see where the fear came from. Maybe somebody screaming at you while you were trying the best that caused you to then just kind of opt out. Whatever it was you discovered, or maybe it was a combination of feelings that you discovered. Now you're letting that fear and anger trickle away. Why? Because this is something you want to do, something you have decided that you want to do. So you open the book, start the homework, or assignment, or imagine you're getting started on whatever project it was that you had put off. Suddenly it seems okay to do that project, the study, the assignment, the essay. It feels good to do it. Nothing's in the way now. You feel happy. And you feel, I am getting that stuff out of the way that was stopping me. I'm relaxed. I can see. I can learn things. I feel like I'm going to become more knowledgeable. With my brain relaxed, I absorb more. I'm going to get a good grade. And now I'm going to go where it is I want to go. It might be college or a career or finish the project. I'm now able to do all this because now I have identified the fear. You have let the fear trickle away. Before, the thing that you were avoiding and the thing that you were procrastinating was at least in some part an unpleasant thing to do for you. With the fear and anger gone because you let it trickle away. That was then, this is now. You are doing this for you and not for anyone else. The results of this would be your best work, and if people are not happy with it, well, you know, you cannot please everybody. You can't worry about that. You do your best, and not everybody is going to be happy even with your best. But even though, you know, with that new attitude, that new feeling, that new approach, it becomes easier. You accomplish more. You do it faster, and it feels good to do it. You're now actually enjoying solving these problems. You seek out the problem. You seek out my next task. Because you're seeing yourself succeed getting this done. All because you got rid of the obstacles, the different feelings, whatever the feelings were. With other tasks, there may be feelings that are getting in the way. These are things you wanted to accomplish. These are things you wanted to do. Now you have a vehicle to get these things done. You have a way to melt away these feelings that are behind the procrastination or stalling or avoidance. We avoid that which can be painful or has been painful in the past. Avoidance can happen where anger has been involved. You might feel angry just trying to do your study or project. But when we relax all these feelings, identify them, we have a new beginning, a new start, a new good feeling about moving ahead on these tasks that you want to do. It's a good feeling. With a little more practice, the feeling will get better and stronger. And now I'm going to count to 5. When I reach 5, your eyes will open and you will feel good. You will feel alert. You will feel that you have at least a beginning on how to get yourself moving on the stuff that you want to do, and how to melt away the things that are getting in the way of you doing the things that you want to do. So 1, 2, 3. You're finding yourself rousing up a little bit. Rousing up. 4. Rousing up a little more. 5. Your eyes are opening.